Space! The final frontier. And all I gotta say to that is, alright, alright, alright. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and as I promised, I'm here today to review the new Christopher Nolan film, Interstellar. Now, Interstellar takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where the Earth is on its final leg. It is at the brink of destruction and nothing can save it. So instead of coming up with a brilliant idea of how to rescue the Earth from certain doom, a team of brilliant minds come up with the idea of going out into space and finding a new world to inhabit. And so they assemble a team of 4 people and 2 robots led by a man named Cooper and send them off to this wormhole near Saturn that will lead them into another galaxy to check out these 3 planets that they see as likely candidates for planets they can inhabit. Now, when I first heard that Christopher Nolan's next film would take place in space, and after seeing the posters and more specifically the trailers for the film, I immediately thought the same thing as many people out there. Oh, so it's basically Gravity, the Christopher Nolan version. Now, that's not saying that I think Christopher Nolan was ripping off Gravity or that this film is a bad film whatsoever. I'm just saying that after seeing the trailers, the marketing team was trying to push so heavily that this film is like the next Gravity. Go check it out, guys. Even the way that the trailer ends, it has that whole zzz. I mean, come on, guys, you don't have to market this film as the next Gravity in order to get people's attention or make them interested in the film, especially since it's a Christopher Nolan film. They'll go see it regardless of how you market it because people still have a lot of faith in Christopher Nolan films. And so I finally got to sit and watch this film, and I gotta say that I really enjoyed watching it. The first thing I'll talk about that I really liked in this film were the visuals. They were on point, so lovely, so majestic, so awe-inspiring, and so otherworldly. I actually felt like I was traveling through space. And for a brief moment, guys, I really wanted to become an astronaut. If this is the things that they see, I want to see them. I found the story engaging enough, and I really loved the scientific elements that were put into the film, some of which I understood, and others made me scratch my head and go, what are they talking about? I'm an uber fan when it comes to scientific discussions about the universe, how it works, and what exists in the universe. So whenever they were talking about wormholes and black holes and singularities and other planets that we may inhabit in the future, I just had this huge smile on my face because I was like, these are the things I love to hear. I watch YouTube videos on these all the time. The score by Hans Zimmer, much like the visuals in this film, were on point. He is just a maestro when it comes to scoring a Christopher Nolan film. No one does it better than Hans Zimmer. I mean, he knows exactly what type of tone to set for a scene, and he does it in flying colors. And the last 2 things that I really liked in this film, and they kind of go hand in hand with each other, is the acting and characters. I thought that most of the actors in this film did a really good job at portraying their characters, especially Matthew McConaughey and the little girl that plays his daughter in the film. I have no idea what her real name is. I'll probably put it here so that you guys know what it is. But she starred in The Conjuring last year and then in another movie that I'm not even going to mention in this video. But these 2 gave the strongest performance, and I felt a genuine connection and chemistry between their 2 characters. I felt a strong bond there. The relationship between Cooper and his daughter Murph was the heart of this entire film. That's where all the emotion lied. That's where all the best character bonding moments happened, and they were executed very well. I also like the performances by Anne Hathaway, John Lithgow, and Michael Caine, to name a few, and I did like their characters as well. But sadly, although I did enjoy this movie, I do have a couple problems with it. There were 2 major problems that sucked me right out of the film. And I can't really talk about them in great detail because they would be spoilers, but I can give you a vague understanding as to what they were. The first one being is that there's a character that shows up later on in the film, and the actions of this character I personally found to be unbelievable. Like, the way that the character was acting, I would never believe that in this situation that this character would act this way, so stupidly. Especially when you take into the fact that this individual is an educated person. To think that an educated person would act so stupidly just baffles me, especially with so much on the line. Honestly, I felt like the situation that happened in this film with this character could have been settled with an intellectual discussion. Again, they're all smart, they can all talk this through, but again, the actions that the character does, it's just completely bonkers. And the second thing that took me right out of the film was the last 20 minutes. Again, I can't really go into full detail as to what occurs at the last 20 minutes of the film, but that was all sorts of convolutedness and ridiculousness. It transcends the realm of science fiction and becomes science fantasy. That's how absurd it was. And that's all I'm gonna say about the last 20 minutes of the film. Another problem that I had with this film was with grown-up Murph and the guy that hangs out with her. For some reason, I found the adult version of Murph so unlikable and uninteresting, and I don't know who's at fault here. Is it Jessica Chastain for portraying the character like that, or is it Christopher Nolan's fault for giving Jessica Chastain the direction for that character or writing the character like that? I don't know. What I do know is that all the personality and all the likability that the younger Murph had is completely missing in grown-up Murph. And you can make the excuse like, oh, she's more serious and her father left her, so of course she's a little bit more stern, more serious. In fact, I would almost say that the way that Jessica Chastain portrays this character is the same way she portrays her character in Zero Dark 30. They are almost similar. And then there's the schmuck that hangs out with her, played by Topher Grace. What is there to say about this character? He's bland, he's generic, he's boring. And Topher Grace does a terrible job at portraying him. But it's not all Topher Grace's fault, because Christopher Nolan didn't really give this character much to do. That is the honest truth. And apparently, this guy is dating older Murph. Like, throughout the entire film, I had no idea what their relationship was like until the very end of the film where she kisses him. And I was like, oh, so they were dating, right? Okay, but that's the problem right there, because there was no build up to this relationship. It was shoehorned in. I never felt a bond or connection between them. I felt no chemistry between the actors. It was hollow as shit. Just like Topher Grace's performance. And the last problem that I had with this film was that it was way too long. I felt like it could have been a good hour and 10 minutes tops. The extra 30 minutes that were in the film could have easily have been taken out. I mean, it was really long, guys. But even with all those problems, I still really enjoyed watching Interstellar. I think that it is a solid space film, and I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I think that it is definitely worth watching, especially if you're a fan of not only space films, but Christopher Nolan films. But anyway, what did you guys think about this film? Did you really like it? Did you get a kick out of it? Or were you like, it's just a Gravity ripoff, who cares? And let me know, what is your favorite space travel film? Comment below and let me know. And until the next video comes, guys, if you would like to be a part of the Black Critic crew, hit that subscribe button, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Watt II, the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.